The girl who loved gardens in a quiet town called Bloomfield, nestled between misty hills and sparkling creeks, lived a bright and curious 8-year-old girl named Madison. Madison had a big imagination and an even bigger heart. Her favorite place in the entire world was her grandmother's garden, which locals called the Garden of Wonders. Each corner of the garden bloomed with surprises, sunflowers that turned their heads when you walked by, tulips that seemed to sway with music, and hummingbirds that zipped like tiny rainbows through the air. Madison visited every day after school, wearing her floppy sun hat and carrying a tiny notebook. She sketched flowers, scribbled poems, and sometimes even named the plants. There was Princess Petunia, Sir Snapdragon, and Captain Cactus. But there was one part of the garden she wasn't allowed to visit. It was surrounded by a low white fence with a hand-painted sign, "Please do not disturb, blue roses growing." Madison had never seen blue roses before. Red, pink, yellow, even purple? Sure. But blue? They must be magical, she whispered one day, pressing her face to the fence. Her grandma, wise and kind, walked up behind her and smiled. "They are indeed magical, Madison. But they're very special. They take time, more than you might think." Madison furrowed her brows. "Why?" "They bloom in their own time. Not when you want them to. When they're ready." Madison nodded, but inside she was buzzing with questions. From that day on, Madison made it her mission to understand the mystery of the blue roses. She peeked through the fence every day. But nothing. Just small green stems. No petals. No color. No scent. Meanwhile, the rest of the garden exploded with blossoms. The lilies waved in the breeze. The daisies danced. Even the tiny violets were showing off their purple pride. Madison felt impatient. "They should be blooming by now," she muttered. "I've read all about roses. They take a few weeks, not months." She tried watering them more. Then less. She read them poetry. She played soft music. Still, nothing. One evening, after 3 whole months, she sat beside the fence and sighed. "Why won't you grow? I've done everything right. What's wrong with you?" Suddenly, the wind stilled. The petals of a nearby flower stopped fluttering. And then, a gentle whisper floated through the air, "Because we're not ready." Madison's eyes widened. "Who said that?" Another soft whisper replied, "We did. The blue roses." Madison blinked at the buds. "You can talk?" "Only when someone really listens," they said. She scooted closer, heart pounding with wonder. "But why are you taking so long?" she asked. "Because we grow differently," said a bud. "We are not like the others. Our bloom is rare and deep. To rush would ruin us." Madison was quiet. For the first time, she stopped trying to fix them. She simply sat, listened, and understood. That night, thunder cracked across Bloomfield. The wind howled, tearing through trees. Rain slammed the windows. Madison pressed her face against her bedroom glass, heart aching. "My blue roses," she whispered. "They'll be crushed." She ran to her grandma. "We have to save them." Grandma hugged her. "Sometimes, Madison, nature takes care of her own." But Madison didn't sleep that night. She lay awake, wondering, hoping, praying that the roses would be okay. The next morning, the garden looked like a battlefield. Tulips were toppled. Sunflowers drooped. Petals carpeted the path. Madison ran barefoot through the wet grass to the white fence. Her breath caught. The blue rose stems were still standing tall. Not one was bent. Not one broken. Raindrops sparkled on their green leaves like diamonds. Then, as she stared in awe, she heard it again, "We waited through the storm, because we knew it would pass." The bloom of a lifetime days turned into weeks. Madison no longer rushed the roses. She still visited, but this time, just to sit quietly. She told them stories. She listened. She learned. And then, one morning, as the sun stretched its golden fingers over the hills, she saw it. The first blue rose had bloomed. It was unlike anything she'd ever seen, a deep ocean blue, soft as silk, glowing with a light that felt like moonlight and morning mixed together. Its scent was sweet and calming, like peppermint and vanilla. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Bye!